Alright, this is Tsavo Highway of my legendary tutorial. I kind of, meant to keep this kind of consistent to help people out. I know a few people have been wanting it. Stuff happened, I took a break, but we're back and I'm going to continue this. So this is Tsavo Highway. This is kind of a random level. I wouldn't say it's hard, it's just random. But the first thing you want to do is shoot this guy. The idea for that is it makes him bring his weapon out, it kind of like activates him quicker kind of thing. So it just means he runs into your warthog slightly faster. You want to wait for a passenger here, it's crucial for a passenger. Because we're going to be driving past pretty much everything, you want a passenger to soak up a ton of the damage. And this is legendary, so there is a lot of damage that's going to happen. The idea for this is we're going to drive past basically everything. And I'll try to cover the problem areas as well as I can. But for the rest of it, just drive. So for these first few areas, there's nothing really to worry about. Just don't flip. If you find you flip or something, just wait for your marines to get back in. It happens, I flip all the time. Those snipers there aren't really an issue. I've never had problems with them. Alright, so up ahead there is a grunt on a plasma cannon. I want my gunner on my warthog to shoot him. He doesn't always do it, it's not really a big deal, it just helps, you reduce damage and you're more likely to get a checkpoint around the corner. So I'll just quickly show this. Hopefully he does it. Yeah, like that. He usually does it, it's not like that big a problem. Those two grunts just there, they can sometimes throw grenades, so just be cautious of that. Alright, I'm going to sit here waiting for a checkpoint just for tutorial purposes. This area right here is quite a big problem area for a lot of people who... Just a lot of people really. It's, messy, stuff can go bad. I'll show a couple of the routes that I take, or people could take kind of thing. The first one, you want to just follow how I go here. Yeah, getting sniped is the only major issue with taking the route that I do. You kind of want to go wide left and cut back in, and getting sniped is annoying, but it happens. And that's honestly the main problem with this level, is the randomness. I mean, you can do the same thing 10 times and get different results every single time. But for that, that's like the route you want to go through. Getting brute shot at the end there was kind of unfortunate. But this is the route that I take. I'll try and show it off a couple times successful. Maybe I can cut in a bit sooner. A thing to note is if your passenger dies here, try to replace it, but you really don't want that to happen. Alright, so that's that. And then there's another one, you can go kind of a more direct route this way. The only problem with this one is the grunt on the phantom above you. If he gets a few good shots off on you, he can do a ton of damage. That guy just up there. Yeah, see there, my passenger died and then I died. Because I think you take a lot more damage this way. But these are mainly the two routes you can go through this area. And then you want to jump up here. And then die. But yeah, this is a major problem area for some of the people who do this. I wish there was a more consistent strat for that, but there isn't. That's basically the gist of what you want to do though. Here is another problem area. Alright, I've got a good checkpoint so I can show some things off. As you approach this area, you want to kind of slow down for a second, because that chopper, I'll try and show it off, what it happens if you don't slow down. If we just hold forwards the entire time. Maybe I got lucky there. But what happens is sometimes that chopper can, just crash into you and you lose all your shields and then you die. But yeah, just be careful of that. You want to drive to around here. And we're going to pick up a grav lift. We're going to use I'm going to use full game strats. I'm not going to do the individual level strategy for jumping the bridge a bit later on. I'm going to pick up the grav lift just for ease purposes. And here is the grav lift. You don't need to run into here to grab it. You can just kind of push up against the wall like this and pick it up through the wall. That's a couple seconds saved. So once you've done that, jump back in and let's see what we got. Okay. So, as you can see, the shield door is up ahead of us. The shade turret is on the right side. That shade turret there can spawn on either the left or the right. It doesn't really matter which side. I still take the same approach, but you want to be more careful. I'll kind of show a few things you can do for this part. You want to just drive towards the shield door without flipping or anything like I did. I'm going to revert because that was terrible driving on my part. I'm going to quickly just show this in one smooth motion too. I kind of slow down for a second there, so the chopper drives in front, jump out, grab it, jump back in. Come around this corner. Keep the choppers like away from you, because if the choppers shoot you as you're going through here, you'll take a ton of damage. So if the shade's on the right side, you want to drive obviously left and away from it. There's two ways to destroy the shield door itself. You can jump out of the Warthog and throw a grenade, or you can do what I do and jump out and go behind the shield door. That's kind of safer because you can let your shields recharge for a second, but at the same time you want to be careful because the enemies are still shooting the Warthog, and the Warthog can blow up and die, and you don't want that because it just loses a ton of time because you have to walk the rest of the level. So stand for a second, punch it, you know, get back in and you're good. That's what I do. Another thing you can do is, let's see if I can revert and try this. Let's pretend the shade is on the, if the shade's on the left side, I'll show you what I do. I'll probably die doing this because, you know, the shade's not on the left side, but I'll show you what you could do. Basically the idea is to drive right around this sniper turret head. See, what happened there was the chopper shot me in the back. You want to avoid that at all costs because the choppers are honestly probably the most dangerous enemies in this area. You want to keep them from shooting you because they flip you, they do a lot of damage and whatever. The shades themselves aren't too bad. See there, in front of me, not too bad. Alright, so if the shade was on the left side, I'd kind of drive like this maybe, and just kind of try to avoid it. But obviously I died there because it wasn't on the left side. Another thing you can do is, I'll show the grenade strat for the shield door. So jump out and grab this. Watch out for the choppers. They're in decent spots. It's good. So you can jump out kind of early. Use the Warthog as a shield, like to shield you from the damage coming from the right hand side. Just grenade it and drive through. But I kind of find that a tiny bit riskier, so I prefer to drive right up to the shield door, jump out, punch it, wait for my shield to recharge and get back in, you know? It's just a tiny bit safer, I find. So that's good, the chopper died. See, I prefer to do this. I find it quite a bit safer. See, there I got lucky, I didn't take much, I didn't take any shield damage at all. But yeah, that's kind of a problem area. I don't really have a consistent strategy for it, just kind of hope you get lucky, which is the theme of this level. I wish I could give you guys more consistent strategies, but there really isn't many. So around here you want to jump out, doesn't really matter where, just jump out, throw the grav lift. Just throw it anywhere so you can get across. You can just drive straight through those two barricades without the grav lift, but it's a lot harder. And just for full game, like, consistency purposes, I'll show the grav lift. Just follow this driving route through here, come through the pipes, avoid most of the enemies. I find that as you're driving up to where I am now, if you tap the emergency brake a couple times, you might get a checkpoint, so I'm going to try it here. It's not always consistent. There's a few ways you can approach this area. I will try what I consider to be safer, to drive through this route. Doing this, you want to be careful because around this big structure here is a weird, like, invisible wall kind of thing. It's got a weird hitbox on it, so just be careful of that. You know, and then you just drive through, and then that's a really inconsistent checkpoint, like inconvenient. I'll try and I'll kill myself real quick 5 times and go back because I want to show a possible different strategy, like a more riskier one. This might take a while to revert. A thing you can do, I probably should noted this earlier on. If you kill yourself 5 times at a checkpoint, you revert like back another one. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you find you can't progress or you're stuck or whatever, just kill yourself 5 times and you'll go back like this.
Master Chief, finally a good connection. Truth has excavated a Forerunner artifact.
I maybe should have noted that a little bit earlier on. But anyway, yeah, you want to drive through these pipes. Hopefully I get the checkpoint I wanted to show off earlier. But I'm kind of taking a bit of shield damage, so maybe I don't get it. Let's just tap emergency brake a couple of times. There we go. There, I got it. Okay, so a thing you can do is just charge the chopper's head on. Because they're coming towards you, like that, they really can't turn around and shoot you. So you can just drive them past. It's a little bit riskier, but it's something you can do. And as we come around this corner, kill these two guys. Sometimes they're in different spots and you won't kill both of them. Sometimes they can drop equipment, like a bubble shield or a deployable cover. Pick that up, it will help for later on. Pick up the fuel rod, switch it out for the assault rifle so you now have these two guns. Guns, you don't use many guns on this level, it's mostly driving. But now you want to have your fuel rod out, you want to jump in the chopper, and you want to drive this way. I may have left it like a little bit too late, kind of just hanging around there, so the choppers might be in weird spots now. But I'll see what happens. Yeah, so the choppers are usually here. You kind of just want to drive them past. This is kind of hard to drive up here sometimes. I took a bit of trouble to learn it. But you want to come up here. I'm getting lucky with the checkpoints. And this end part is also quite the problem area. You want to, as you're coming in, you want to stay to the left, kind of avoid the brutes. You want to try to splatter the beam rifle guy. I'll try and show it in one like smooth motion what you want to do. So you want to come down the left hand side. As you come around the corner here, look out for the beam rifle guy. He's usually at the front of the pack. The guys behind, they jetpack over, you know, they don't really give you much of an issue. They sometimes throw trip mines, so look out for that. But as we come down the hill, jump out, fuel rod the shade twice. The trigger for the end of the level is the shade dead, the shield door dead, and you to be far enough forward to reach the end. So the shade's dead, we're going to boost forwards to here, jump out behind this, and just jump over the edge here. See, now I've reached, I've achieved two of the criteria for the level to end. I'm in a good spot and the shade's dead. So now all I have to do is line myself up, push myself up and left a little bit, aim around here. It's pretty lenient where you can aim. I line up with this corner, look up, maybe like here or something, you know, make sure I've pushed up left a little bit, throw a grenade. Switch, something you want to do, I think I missed. Yeah, I'll line it up a bit more. It's around here, but something you want to do is, when you throw the grenade, switch to the battle rifle, because Tsavo to Storm has a carryover. So if you, it just saves you a few seconds on the Storm when you start with the battle rifle equipped. But yeah, this is kind of like a little bit hard. I want to kind of miss this, so I can. Okay, yeah, so that's where you want to aim roughly, but I want to show you what you can do if you miss both, because this is a kind of safe spot. But because the fuel rod, let me try to show this off. As it goes further and further, it goes down, as you can see. So you can use that to your advantage here. What you have to do is seal that big thing in front of me, whatever you want to call it. Aim above that, fire 2 shots. Shield's dead, level's over. Easy as that, you know. I find sometimes getting down here can be kind of hard. You can get like blasted by brute shots and everything. But this is the strat you want to do. It's safe, and I have to credit Shifty Time for it because it's a good strategy. So aim about here, throw a frag grenade, switch to battle rifle. I missed. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe a bit lower, I don't know. There you go. The level's over. The level should end. This is something that sometimes happens, I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, this is good for this to happen, but I've encountered this like 3 times in my thousands and thousands of runs. You kill the shade, you kill the shield door, but the level doesn't end. I have absolutely no idea why this happens, to be honest. There you go, it just does. You can just revert and do it again. But that was Tsavo Highway, and I hope that helps you. And I will do Storm straight after this because Storm to Tsavo has a carryover, and I want to show you guys how you would cope in a full game run with carryover, where you start with a battle rifle and a fuel rod. I hope this helped. I wish there was more consistent strategies for Tsavo rather than just kind of driving through and hoping you get lucky. Unfortunately, that's just the state of the level. I mean, if you get it good, you know, it's 4 minutes at most. It's a quick level. If it's bad, it's 7 minutes. It happens. I hope this helped.